Severe storms caused damage across the Chicago area late Friday night into Saturday morning. Some of the worst damage was in northwest Indiana and in the northwest and west suburbs, where trees fell on top of homes and vehicles. As of 7:30 p.m. Saturday, ComEd had restored power for 99% of the over 50,000 customers across the Chicago who lost power during the storms overnight. A lot of neighbors helping neighbors in Cedar Lake, Indiana, where the NWS confirmed in YEF, one tornado tore through when a tornado warning hit the area around 1:30 a.m. Saturday. The roof of a Cedar Lake home caved, and the family told local media they had just minutes to evacuate their home. It was probably 20 seconds from the time we realized we needed to leave the room until the trees came in, Stephen Sitch said. The Sitch family was just seconds and inches away from a tragedy, barely escaping their home. People living on 134th and Osborne appeared to suffer some of the worst damage. Very quickly it changed to what was probably debris, but it sounded like softballs being shot at the house, and the wind a lot of wind, Stephen Sitch said. Thankfully, the Sitch family evacuated the house safely, and they said it was shocking how quickly that tornado came through. Brenda Sitch recalled the terrifying moment she tried to get her brother to safety. I get the door open and he's pinned in his chair with the roof on him and covered in debris. And this far from his chest, it was coming right at him, Brenda Sitch said. I don't know if it was roof or a tree, so I'm picking it up, screaming, "Get up, get up, get out of here." Now, the cleanup continues for the family and many others in the neighborhood. We're very close, everyone helps everybody when we can, resident Lisa Ward said. It's something that has turned into a full community effort. We've had people we don't know drop off food, water, clothes, Brenda Sitch said. I've had my phone going crazy, going with friends, family and coworkers. It's unbelievable. Homeowners and neighbors are all coming together to clean up downed trees and downed roofs. But thankfully Cedar Lake police told local media no one was injured overnight. Elgin was also among the areas that saw damage overnight. The Elgin Fire Department responded to multiple reports of storm-related damage, including downed trees, after a storm hit the area. The First United Methodist Church was hardest hit as the winds ripped the roof off the 100-year-old church. The congregation has been in Elgin for over 187 years. The original church was hit by a deadly tornado and destroyed on March 28, 1920. Storm Tracker drove through Hanover Park on Saturday morning, capturing footage of downed trees. Storms destroyed a barn in DeKalb County, and damage has been reported in Will County. Multiple tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings were issued across the Chicago area overnight, but have since expired. And while the storms are over, Butler said winds are expected to pick up rather quickly on Saturday, with gusts 50 miles per hour to 60 miles per hour in the morning and early afternoon. The National Weather Service confirmed that a powerful EF2 tornado ripped through St. Clair and Clinton counties in Illinois. This one had 120-mile-per-hour winds, causing tremendous damage from north of Mascoutah to south of Trenton. Survey teams assessed the damage, and victims began the difficult process of recovery. The EF2 tornado ripped through the Forens family farm, with many homes in the area damaged. Trees are down and power lines are currently being repaired. I believe our residents took to those warnings, and that's what minimized those serious injuries, said Herb Simmons, part of the St. Clair County Emergency Management Agency. Joe Foren has been a farmer for more than 20 years in Mascoutah. He says the storm destroyed his shed and equipment, with damages estimated in the millions. Most of my trees in my yard are gone, Foren said. 16 sheds are gone. I had a bunch of equipment damage. A grain handling system is just about totaled. Our elevator legs collapsed. Over half our beds are ruined. Meanwhile, in O'Fallon, Illinois, a mobile home park took a direct hit. Roofs were ripped off, trees snapped in half, and entire structures were reduced to rubble. This was one of the worst storms we've seen in many, many years now, Simmons said. Emergency crews have been working nonstop to restore power and clear roadways. However, many residents are still left picking up the pieces. While the storm has passed through metro Atlanta, the damage caused by the strong winds and heavy rain remained. On Howell Mill Road in Buckhead, a large fallen tree has blocked the road and toppled power lines. A similar situation could be found on Collier Road and Northside Drive. This tree knocked down power lines on both roads, leading to crews dealing with multiple outages caused by a single tree. On North Olympian Way in southwest Atlanta, the trunk of a tree remains suspended on the power lines, creating enough damage to leave more residents in the dark. In downtown Atlanta, Georgia Tech shared video of a lighting strike hitting the Bank of America Plaza captured by one of its students. Leaders in Paulding County are warning residents to be careful if they go outside on Sunday morning. Paulding County Sheriff Ashley Henson was up all night covering storm damage across his country. At around 2:30 a.m., he hosted a Facebook Live in front of a Texaco gas station canopy that appeared to be ripped out of its concrete supports and flipped over near the intersection of Hay Renfro Drive and Villa Rica Highway in Dallas. There are some downed power lines and trees around town. Officials are asking residents to use caution for their own safety. Jordan Udis, a spokesman for the Paulding County Sheriff's Office, said that the bulk of the storm's damage was on the outskirts of Dallas. He said they were waiting to see the full extent of the damage when the sun comes up. For a moment, there seemed like there was going to be a second batch of storms. Thankfully, we didn't get that, Udis said. We got some wind and some pretty heavy rain, but our folks worked right through that, checking to make sure everyone was okay. While falling trees trapped some Paulding County residents inside their homes, crews with the fire department and deputies were able to get them out safely. Udis said the county has been lucky that injuries seem to have been minimal. Thousands of Georgians remain without power after the severe storm system passed through Georgia overnight. As of 1 p.m., more than 17,000 customers in the state were without power. The majority of those power outages are concentrated in the northeast corner of Georgia, including Rabun, Towns, and Union counties. Paulding County also reported more than 3,400 customers without power. In Atlanta's Morningside neighborhood, Lindsay Tooman spotted a large tree that had blocked part of the sidewalk and left the area in the dark. Crews were working to remove the branches and quickly get power back running. Georgia Power said its crews are responding to the damage as quickly as conditions allow. Officials say the storm killed at least 42 people as it crossed through the central and southern U.S. Missouri recorded more fatalities than any other state as scattered twisters overnight killed at least 12, authorities said. The deaths included a man whose home was ripped apart by a tornado. Officials confirmed 3 deaths in Arkansas, where Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders declared a state of emergency. Dust storms spurred by the system's early high winds claimed almost a dozen lives on Friday. 8 people died in a Kansas highway pileup involving at least 50 vehicles, according to the State Highway Patrol. Authorities said 3 people were also killed in car crashes during a dust storm in Amarillo, in the Texas Panhandle.